Hey there, welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to go through a recent news update regarding the YouTube Partner Program and what qualifies for monetization on YouTube and what doesn't. So I don't know if you've heard, but YouTube recently announced that they're changing some of the rules regarding inauthentic content or mass-produced AI slop. So basically, AI slop is anything that requires very minimal effort and it's just obviously fake, inauthentic content. So potentially they're going to start cracking down on these types of channels starting on July 15th. And for this channel, I may decide to go a different direction as well because I've started creating AI avatar videos and I'm not sure if that's going to be included in the demonetization. Actually, the channel's not monetized yet, so we'll see how it goes. It will be interesting to see how it plays out. But I've got an article pulled up here on TechCrunch, which is one of the de facto, news sources for all things tech related. And the headline here is YouTube prepares crackdown on mass-produced and repetitive videos as concern over AI slop grows. And to be honest, I really don't like the AI slop that much at all. That's not what I'm doing on this channel. I'm actually putting in the research, and it's well-researched, informative content. So it's slightly different, but let's just go through the article and see what it has to say. We'll zoom in a little bit. YouTube is preparing to update its policies to crack down on creators' ability to generate revenue from inauthentic content. And they've been only encouraging authentic content for the entire existence of YouTube. So including mass-produced videos and other types of repetitive content, things that have become easier to generate with the help of AI technology tools like HeyGen and Synthesia. Those are a few examples. On July 15th, the company will update its YouTube Partner Program monetization policies with more detailed guidelines around what type of content can earn creators money and what cannot. The exact policy language itself has not yet been released, but a page in the help documentation explains that creators have always been required to upload original, authentic content, which AI slop definitely is not. The update says that the new language will help creators to better understand what inauthentic content looks like today. Some YouTube creators were concerned that the update would limit their ability to monetize certain types of videos like reaction videos or blah, 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 right? In a video update published on Tuesday, Richie says that the change is just a minor update to YouTube's long-standing YPP policies and is designed to better identify when content is mass-produced or repetitive. They have a video of him talking about that here. They're calling it a minor update. So what Richie is not saying, however, is how much easier it is to create such videos these days. And I've been doing this on my own channel where you're watching this right now as well. I'm creating fully AI-generated avatar videos. Since my channel is not monetized yet, it doesn't really affect me. But once it is monetized, then it's something that I'll potentially have to worry about. So that's the article on TechCrunch. And there's another one over here on Android headlines. It says YouTube just declared war on lazy AI content, which personally I'm a strong proponent of. I don't really like this type of content. I think that they should start cracking down on it to the best of their ability to actually. We want human content on YouTube, right? Not this AI generated junk. So yeah, it's looking like platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube appear to be mass-produced. This is thanks to the emergence of AI tools, which we've already talked about. YouTube recently published an update in their YouTube Partner Program, which you will need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to qualify for. So it's kind of a high bar, and I would say only about 3 to 4%, maybe a little bit higher, of YouTube channels are actually monetized. So this isn't really affecting a vast quantity of people. But if you are in that partner program, it's very important to stay in there and not get demonetized. So I'm not exactly sure if this is they're just going to shut off entire channels, demonetize them completely, or it's just going to be the individual videos that AI generated. I would side towards the latter. I think it makes a lot more sense to just demonetize the individual videos, but we'll see how it all plays out. So yeah, this is kind of just repeating what we already talked about in TechCrunch, but we see here the rise in AI content, which they're trying to get better at policing, which makes a lot of sense. It says, in the past, stitching a video together required a fair bit of effort unless you download someone else's video and upload it into your own. However, thanks to AI tools, many are turning to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram to post their Faceless AI content. In fact, there's a platform called Syllabi, which I'm personally using on this channel where you're watching this now. And that's basically, it can just automate posting AI faceless videos. And I did hear an update from the founder of that company. He says that this new policy rollout is not going to affect those types of videos, but it's not actually official yet, so there's really no way to know for sure. But yeah, just something to be wary of. And it just kind of talks a little bit about how this type of content is created, which I already know about that. So we're going to come over to this article here in Golf News. And it says same thing, repetitive content ban begins July 15th. The big question for content creators, will your videos still pay? Luckily, on my main channel, I've got about 1,000 videos over there, and none of them are AI generated, except for just recently I've started putting up some avatar videos. But I'm thinking I'm going to just continue creating real, authentic content to kind of avoid this policy update affecting my channel. So it says YouTube is tightening its monetization rules, explicitly targeting mass-produced and authentic content. This isn't just a minor tweak. It's a clear signal from the platform. Originality and genuine human input are now paramount. So you don't just want to generate a script using ChatGPT or Claude necessarily, like I'm doing, and I use Perplexity for the research phase, and then you can just mass produce this content, which I've already made actually tutorials about how to do on this channel. In fact, it's currently my #1 video on the channel is showing how to create these AI avatar videos. But it may be something to avoid if it's going to affect those types of videos. It says this latest update marks one of the most aggressive pushes yet to filter out low quality, repetitive, and potentially AI generated content that offers little unique value. So I would say that my videos actually offer a lot of value because they're well researched, they're well scripted, so won't necessarily affect my content, luckily. But it says if your channel relies on easily replicable formats or automated processes, it's time for a serious reevaluation. It says right there, serious reevaluation. So definitely something to take into consideration when you're deciding to go this route on YouTube. So yeah, that's basically the the short and narrow of it. It also says it's going to crack down on content borrowed from other sources with minimal alteration. So who knows, that could even possibly affect AI generated thumbnails. I'm not entirely sure. But it says here simply adding background music, changing playback speed, or cropping visuals will no longer cut it. Content must be significantly altered to be considered original. And they actually have a switch now that you can turn on within YouTube Studio that says if it's AI generated or not. And then once you start watching the video, the viewer, it will have a little pop-up that says this was, generated with AI, basically. So I think you're required to turn that on. If you don't turn that on, maybe those are the types of videos that they'll start cracking down on. They also goes on a repetitive content lacking a clear purpose. Videos that are templated, follow highly repetitive formats, especially in shorts, or uploaded solely for the purpose of gaining views without providing entertainment or educational value will be scrutinized. So there's been a lot of videos recently that have been getting 200 million views, and it's just AI slop. So the people are making tens of thousands of dollars with this content, and it's for what, right? It's not even real. It's fake. Also goes on to say low effort AI generated content. While YouTube hasn't explicitly banned AI content, videos relying heavily on AI generated videos, avatars, which is what I'm doing, automated scripts, or slideshows without substantial human commentary or creative input are at a high risk of demonetization. So potentially some of the videos that I put up on my main channel will get demonetized, which isn't really the end of the world. As long as they don't demonetize my entire channel, that's what I'm trying to avoid. And it also says clickbait and spam-like uploads. Channels that engage in deceptive practices or offer little meaningful content beyond trying to game the system are in YouTube's crosshairs. So it's actually a channel. I forget what it's called, but I was just learning about it yesterday. They gained roughly 30 million subscribers in since the beginning of the year, and it's all just AI generated synthwave music or something. So they've gained a huge number of subscribers. They're probably making a ton of money from the channel in a very short period of time. Those are the types of videos that I think, or channels that are going to get demonetized. So something to be cognizant of. It does say this policy change is YouTube's way of safeguarding its content ecosystem and maintaining advertiser trust. Advertisers prefer their brands to appear alongside high quality, authentic content, and this update aims to ensure that ad revenue goes to creators who genuinely contribute to the platform. Who will be affected? It says right here. This will be interesting to know. The media impact will be felt most acutely, by channels that have thrived on volume over originality. So content aggregators, those who simply compile clips from other creators with minimal or no transformative value. I've seen a lot of these types of videos, which are just basically stealing. They're just stealing other people's content and taking credit for it, which is not good. Automated content channels that use AI tools to mass produce videos with generic voiceovers, visuals, or scripts. So that would be kind of the direction I was heading with this channel, which I'm now going to have to rethink. And faceless channels, it says, well, not all faceless channels are inauthentic. Those that lack a distinct human voice, personality, or creative direction will face challenges. While some reaction channels add significant commentary and insight, those that merely play content with minimal original contribution may be at risk. So basically, as long as you're putting in some sort of human work instead of just mass producing these AI generated videos, you should be fine. And it's definitely going to pay off if you just continue creating videos using your face, right? Rather than just being lazy and creating content that provides no real value, you should be putting your personality into it, right? It says strategies for staying monetized and thriving. Prioritize human input and originality. So add your voice, show your face, always important, I would say. I've been showing my face on YouTube for many, many years now, and I still think that it's the best way moving forward. If you're not comfortable in front of a camera, it's just something that you're going to have to practice. And the only way to get better is by putting in the work and, just creating more and more content. That's all there is to it at the end of the day. Invest in thoughtful editing. So, do the editing, add B-rolls, screen shares, blah, blah, blah. Brand your content. Transform and add value to reused content. So if you use third-party material, ensure you're significantly transforming it. Rethink your AI strategy. It says AI is a tool, not a replacement for creativity. That's actually an excellent point. Use AI to assist, not automate entirely. So it can help with scripting ideas, which I've been using it for, topic generation, or even initial voiceovers. But the final product must bear your creative mark. So don't just, generate a completely AI generated avatar video with minimal to no editing. You could possibly use an avatar video, but you need to put in some transitions and maybe some segues as well, not just completely AI generated and put it up there. I think that's going to disqualify for monetization. It also goes on to say if you're using AI voices combined with human commentary. So ensure that there's a real person adding value and context. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, disclose AI use. Transparency is crucial. So you want to make sure to turn on that AI generated label on YouTube, which they now have available when you upload the video. And then it just goes on to say what's next. YouTube has provided some clarity. The full extent of enforcement will become clearer after July 5th, which is another 5 days from when I'm recording this video now. It says the platform will likely use a combination of AI tools and human reviewers to identify non-compliant content. Channels found violating the new policy could face individual video demonetization, removal from the YouTube Partner Program, I definitely don't want that to happen to my channel, or in severe cases, channel suspension. Appeals will be possible, but creators will need to demonstrate the originality and value of their content. So potentially, if your channel does get demonetized, worst case scenario, you can issue an appeal and they can decide whether to monetize it or not. So if you are creating a lot of AI generated slop videos, you may want to decide to unlist them or make them private, just kind of like, remove them from the channel. So to avoid getting penalized due to these new rules. And I do have a few other articles open here now as well. We can go through this one on esports. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much a repetition of the previous articles that we've read. But it just says, YouTube is now making sure that anyone who takes on this lazy way to make content ends up making no money in the end, which I would say is a net positive because we do, I think it's important that YouTube and other platforms, including Facebook and TikTok and even Pinterest to a certain extent, start cracking down on this AI generated content because it's just overwhelming the platforms. And it's really hard to know what's real and what's fake anymore, in my personal opinion. So it says, marking a big win for creators who actually work hard on their videos. So they're going to crack down on the low effort content and copied content, pretty much just prevent them from making money on their content, which makes a lot of sense to me. It looks like TikTok has had the same issue as many creators would just post someone else's video on their page and make a ludicrous amount of money, especially if the video was over 1 minute. And it's the same with Facebook too. I actually posted an AI generated video recently on my Facebook page, which was someone else's content. It got over 3 million views, and I made a decent amount on that. Who knows if Facebook's going to start cracking down on this as well? I guess only time will tell. But it goes on to say, we are entering an age of original content. However, as many sites are fighting back against AI-generated content and more. And it's going to be going live on July 15th. I have yet another article here in Hans, India. It's basically just talking about the same thing and nothing much in addition to what we've already covered. It just says, what should creators do? Focus on unique and personal content. Avoid posting repetitive template-based videos. Be cautious when using AI tools for content creation and ensure videos add value or originality. And again, same thing over here. Channels focus on in-depth analysis, storytelling, and genuine engagement will thrive. Reaction-only and compilation channels face the greatest risk. So it's going to be going into effect on July 15th. And like I say, I'm probably not going to continue moving forward with the AI-generated content, especially on my main channel, which has been monetized for years. And I'm making a decent amount from the YouTube Partner Program, the ad revenue, every single month over there. So definitely don't want to get demonetized. Just something good to know. And if you have any questions about this stuff, leave a comment down below. Would be happy to help. And check out some of my step-by-step tutorials on the channel as well. With that being said, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Signing off.